Hi guys, James here. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. In today's video, guys, we are going to be doing some makeup. I haven't done any of this for the whole year, actually. We are almost at the end of January when I'm filming this. I have my little kitten in the background. I am in a new location in my house. I'm actually in front of the aircon in my living room. Only because the cats tend to want to be next to me at all times. So they like to sleep on the cat tree behind me. So I thought I would just film here because it is very hot down where I normally film with all the box lights and stuff. But if I actually sit in front of the aircon, it's not so bad with the heat. It is very hot today, so that is why I'm sitting in front of the aircon. But yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. Little man is behind me. Hopefully he goes to sleep. He's been running around doing the zoomies as I was setting everything up and knocking things off. But hopefully that is out of his system right now. I'm just going to spritz my face with this MAC Prep and Prime spray. I do like doing that just because it is quite dry today. I have a little handheld fan I bought. Even though I'm sitting in front of the aircon, it helps it dry off. Now, if you can hear the aircon, I do apologize. I'm going to try and speak up, but the aircon noise is in the background, and like I said, I apologize. But hopefully it doesn't get too distracting. So in today's video, I do have a few items that are new, so I'm going to test them out. I'm going to start with my Nars little pot concealer here, and I'm just going to cover all my blemishes because I find this is like underpainting for me, and it helps cover all the redness and all the little outbreaks that I have constantly, especially in the shaving area. So I'm just going to quickly do that. I've got a lot to cover, so I will do this and I'll come right back. Alright guys, I am back and I've underpainted my face. It's kind of, this is a lot whiter, and it was white. It's kind of like oxidized, and I've never really experienced it oxidizing. I don't know if it's because the aircon's blowing on it, but it's oxidized on this area. Like, it was this white when I applied it here, and it's kind of oxidized, but that's alright. It's just something I wanted to point out because I've never really experienced that. I do have my Revlon Colorstay Full Coverage Foundation. This is like a mousse consistency over a liquid, and I do like this because it's just a little bit lighter than a liquid, and I don't need as much. So we're just going to go in with that. This is in the shade 200 Nude. Now I do have foundation brush, but I think I'm just going to apply it with my sponge today because I normally go over it with a sponge anyway. I've got my mirror here just to see what I'm doing a bit better. It is not a bad color match, I think, hopefully. Not too bad. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a great start of the year. America is going through a lot with all the fires and then all Trump's different things that he's implementing on the country. So over here, we're just watching in Australia. We're like, oh, what is happening to that country right now? The fires are crazy, crazy. And the fact that there's no insurance for a lot of those houses, I just feel so sorry for those people. I don't know what they're going to do. But yeah, I mean, we have bushfires here, but we don't have such a big population of houses and people that get affected. We have a lot of like bush areas with small country towns that can all be burnt out, but they might have maybe 10,000 people in that population, sometimes more, but not as many people. Like these houses are like suburbs. We tend to have like rural and farmland properties burned down in bushfires just because the bush goes all the way up to the houses and the property lines to a lot of those farms. So the fact that all of these houses and shops and businesses and everything have all been burned down is astonishing to us. The amazing thing is of how many people didn't lose their life. If that happened in Australia, we would probably have deaths into the hundreds. We had a few fires probably 5 or 6 years ago that had over 100 and something people die. People just literally getting trapped in cars, or whole families burning in cars. And it's amazing that America hasn't seen that. I know there have been a few deaths, but nothing compared to what we would lose in Australia. So I think that's the good thing about the fires, that there haven't been as many deaths as what we would see in Australia. Just because I was talking to my dad about it, and he said if it happened here in Australia, we would be having deaths in the hundreds, just because rural properties and rural towns, they get cut off. A lot of those towns only have one road in and one road out, so 2 roads. And if the community gets surrounded by fires and those roads get blocked off, then no one can go anywhere and they basically perish. And that's happened quite a few times in the past. So it's pretty good that everyone got evacuated. So my prayers and thoughts are all with those people and the businesses and everybody who was affected by those fires. And also a big shout out to all the first responders doing a great job saving people's lives and also trying to save properties and businesses and just doing amazing work. So shout out to everybody there. What else is happening? I am back officially on day shift from my job. I was on nights, but I'm back on day shift this week, so I'm very happy about that. Next door neighbours are building a lot more. They actually tore my fence down yesterday, but they actually did put a new fence up, so they are completing that. They haven't completely completed it. I'm watching what they're doing, because they tore my fence down and all the sand between the fence and my bricks have kind of just fallen in. So I'm hoping they fill in the gap where the new fence is, because there's probably that much of a gap of just nothing. And my bricks are going to go into that gap. If they don't fill it in, I have to fill it in. As long as someone's filling it in and the bricks aren't falling in, then I'm okay. But I'm just watching, because no one's working on it today. They did do it yesterday, and they left one end of my fence open and the other end of my fence open. I was kind of mad when I woke up and saw what they did, because if I had a dog and they just tore the fence down without telling me they were going to tear my fence down and my dog ran away, then I'd be really, really pissed. Like, no one knocked on the door. I was home all week. No one left a letter in the letterbox. No one called me. No one emailed me. No one even tried to knock on my door or anything telling me what they were going to do. They just tore the fence down and left it bare. So, like, there was no fence between the 2 properties. And if I had a dog, it could have just run away through their property onto the street, and it's a busy street where I live on. So I was kind of annoyed about that. Like, just a little bit of a heads up in communication, because that fence, I've been in this property for 13 years. Nothing wrong with it. It's a perfectly good fence. They just wanted to match the fence up with the rest of the sides of the property. I think they're tearing all the fences down. They're all going to put a new fence, the same fence up around the whole property. But give us like some notice, because, you know, people have dogs and everything like that. I mean, I have a dog park outside my house, you know. Like, don't assume that I don't have a dog. At least try and message me or knock on my door and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Don't worry about it. We're going to fix the fence. Because they just left it torn down for a whole day with no communication. I was like, what's happening? So that was annoying, but they are fixing it hopefully. But I am keeping an eye on that to see if I have to do anything to completely restore the fence, or at least the privacy that we had beforehand. So I think they could have done better with that. Ooh, I gotta blame my neck a bit more. I know it's like first world problems, but it is, you know, it's my home and it's something that I take pride in. And I also have anxiety with people on my property that I don't know, because they're literally just walking along my property and onto my property line. And you know, I don't normally mind, but just tell me what you're doing. Like, that's all I'm asking. Just tell me what you're going to do and how long you're going to do it for. Like, you know, if you're going to be on my property for a week, let me know, because I've had people break into my property multiple times, or at least attempt to, and it makes me nervous when people are walking past my windows and my doors and everything like that, and I don't know who they are. And they're starting this at like 6 o'clock in the morning, because they're usually there at 6 in the morning, and they'll finish up about 3, but there's just no communication. Like, I had a guy walking past my window, and my fence is not even along the window. My house is long, so the fence is along here, that's where it is. They have to walk all the way around and down to get to my window. I'm like, why are you here? There's no reason for you to be outside my window. So that's annoying. And I left my window open to sleep with a fly screen because it was hot. So I was leaving the front door and my window, the breeze to come through at night to cool the house down, because it was hot during the day. And I'm like, you're basically looking at me as I sleep, which just made me nervous and uncomfortable. So yeah. Anyway, do better. Anyway, foundation is done. We're going to go in with this concealer. It's not a new concealer. It's the W7 Oh So Sensitive Concealer. $5 from Chemist Warehouse. Now, hopefully you can see everything. I'm just feeling like this light, ring light. I only have my ring light on and all the other lights off. I'm hoping that it's not like washing out all the labels and everything that I'm showing you on camera, because sometimes just because sometimes it does do that, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. A little bit on the nose, a little bit on the chin, and then I think I'm running out of this. I have to do a little bit of a swipe right here. There we go. Okay, let's blend that in quickly with this sponge. I like this concealer. $5 and does a great job at highlighting everything I need it to highlight. Doesn't take too much to blend in with a sponge or a brush. I just like to do it with a sponge because I like to press into the foundation. Being a guy, I do have more texture, so cream products I found blend into my skin a bit better than like powder foundation. So I do like cream products that blend in very nicely. I'm just gonna, sorry, I forgot the forehead. I just forgot the forehead, so let me quickly blend this in with the sponge. And then for the eyes, I'm going to use a little concealer brush that I have been using and loving. That was from Morphe. I have a hair right here. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Alright, just blend that in nicely. I'll do the brows and stuff off camera later. We're just doing all the base work. So let's go in with my little concealer brush. We have a brand new one here somewhere. Here we go. I love these Morphe brushes. This is the Morphe, normally they have like a number on it, but it doesn't have a number. We're just going to use it. It's just a nice concealer brush. It is angled, so just blend it into my fine lines with the concealer under my eyes a lot better than the sponge does. And as you can see, it doesn't lift or disturb the foundation underneath as well. Just blend out nicely. And I can press the concealer right into the fine lines with this brush a lot easier than I can with a sponge. A sponge I just find, because I'm a bit Asian, I do have like that extra flap of skin and it's hard to get a sponge in here, but with this brush it has helped a lot with that problem. So I'm going to use these brushes constantly, and I bought 3 of these just for that reason, because I'm lazy and I don't like cleaning my brushes. Alright, so that is all blended out. Happy with that. I'm going to powder. I do have some new powder, but before that we are going to play with my first new product. Actually, I've got a few new products. So we've got this, and where's the other one? Oh, this. So we've got a NYX little dual contour bronzer stick. Now this is a bit dark, so I'm just going to use it as a contour. So we've got that first, and then the other end is a cream like highlighter, gold highlighter moment, which is a bit too dark for me. I did show all of this on in my last video, and then we have this Australis bronzer stick. Now this is a bit dark for me too, but I think it's a little lighter than the NYX one, so we're going to use this first. So I'll go in with this on my face up here. Oh, that is very dark. Okay, I might do a little bit. Start. Yeah, do a little bit. Just a little bit here. And then we'll do the jawline, but let me try and blend this out first. I don't know how long it takes to dry and stuff, so I'm a bit cautious with that. We have a brush here. This is a little Kmart brush, and I like to use this to blend out my face. Oh, that's blended out quite nicely. So I'm just going to blend this out with this brush. This is a Make a Max brush. I actually like this brush because it doesn't blend everything out without disturbing the foundation. As you can see, it's blending out quite nicely. It is a bit dark, but with the setting powder I'm hoping it will lighten it up. But I mean, that's blended out really nicely. That's nice. Alright, moment of truth. Let's do this forehead. Put some in the hair, which is annoying, but let's see. Yeah, it's a bit dark on the forehead, a little heavy-handed there, but that's alright. I'll try and cover that up with some setting powder. But, oh, it's actually blending out quite nicely with this brush. So at least it blends out without picking up the foundation at all or disrupting it. but I think it's a bit dark for me, so I'm just going to go light-handed with that. But the actual product itself is very nice, and it didn't cost much at all. Okay, I'm feeling like I've got a little bit of like harsh line here. But that's nice. I like that. That's a bit more. I need to blend out the hairline a bit because I went very heavy-handed against the hairline. But I think that's nice. I think that's blended out quite nicely. The cheeks are quite nice as well. It looks like I've got highlighter right here, but I don't. It's just where my natural face and cheekbones are emphasizing under the ring light. Oh, look at that. Looks like I've got highlighter. No highlighter. Let me put a little bit of this darker shade on from NYX and just use this as a contour right here. People put it up there, but I feel like it shouldn't be that high, but we're just going to do it anyway. We're just having fun. If it doesn't look good, makeup is something you can just wash off. The shade itself is more of a cool tone brown, but it's kind of just disappearing. I want to look like I've got like hollows in the cheeks here, when obviously I don't because I'm overweight and I love my chocolate, but I don't know if that actually did anything. Anyway, let's put a little bit along the jawline. I think instead of, well, I guess, no, let's use this Australis. We'll use it along the jawline. Just a little. I also did forget to mention what shade this is. This is in the shade Femme Fatale, and then this is the Wonder Stick dual-ended face sculpting stick in the shade Rich. So those are the two shades. Yeah, I'm a little bit too heavy-handed. And it's not as creamy as, say, the NYX bronzing stick, so it does take a little bit more to actually blend out with this brush, especially on the jawline because it's struggling to blend out a little bit. I probably did go a little heavy-handed, just trying to hide all my chins. But yeah, I definitely went a little, like, look at that. That looks like trash. That's terrible. Oh, if I saw somebody in public with this that I've got on my face right now, I'd be like, ma'am, you need to blend. Or, sir, you need to blend. Let's do my best to cover it up with this sponge. Oh my god, even my ear is bad. I think that's terrible. Alright, okay, well, you know what, we're just going to continue. Oh, I haven't even done my nose. Let me contour the nose ever so slightly. Probably didn't even need any more product. I could have just used what's left on the brush, but it is what it is. Let's just contour the nose. Okay, well that blended out quite nicely. Go with a thinner nose now. I feel like I've got a thinner nose. That's always what we aim for. Okay, you know what, we're just going to continue. I'm going to quickly turn off this aircon because now we're going to go in with setting powder, and I don't want that powder just to blow everywhere. So we're going to turn that off for now. We've got two little setting powders to try. We've got the translucent and we've got this one, Brightening Pink from Morphe. I think I'm going to try the Brightening Pink on one side. And if I don't like that, I'll just go in with the translucent setting powder. These were, I think, $18 each. And these have 9 grams of product in it. These are the smaller sizes. There was a bigger size with the translucent size, but I don't think you can get a bigger size in the pink one, or at least I didn't see one. It might have been sold out. Just taking the little plastic thing off. Right, so we've got we don't really have a sifter. It's quite big, the holes. I'm going to tap some out on my lid here. Just a little bit. This is what it looks like. It's a little bit pink. It's not overly pink. I wouldn't say it's like the Huda Beauty pink. We have this little sponge here that I'm going to press this under my eyes with, and then I'll do a brush for the rest of the face. But the way I like to get it evenly distributed on the little puff is I put it on the back of my hand and I just pound it out so it's a little bit more evenly covered. And then we just put it under the eyes and press it in because that's where I crease the most. Under the eyes, the forehead and the cheek areas. That's actually looking really, really good. I don't think I can see the pinkness on my face in person. Maybe on camera you can because of the lights. It is meant to set your makeup up for 16-hour wear, minimize shine for up to 24 hours, and smooth pores and fine lines with this lightweight, talc-free, finely milled, silky smooth powder that sweeps on with an impeccably soft natural finish. So that's what it's claiming to do. It's actually quite nice. I actually like that. I'm going to put the translucent side on the other side and see if I can actually see a difference color-wise. In person, I can't. Wow, that aircon's off and it's already heating up in this room. I need to put this powder on and then put that aircon back on because it's getting warm already. Alright, so let me quickly do that. Okay, so this says it's translucent, but actually kind of looks like, kind of has like a yellow tinge to it. It's almost looking like banana powder. I don't know if you can see that. Let's try it on the other side and see if I can actually see a different color when it's on my face compared to the pink one. Okay, they both do the same thing. It's very smooth. I like a matte finish. So I'm just putting it on my nose as well, on the side of my nose, and I press it into my nose with the powder. I'm quite happy with that. I still look like I've got like a highlighter mark right here, but I've got nothing there besides foundation and setting powder. But I actually really like the way it looks. I can't see a difference at all in person, color-wise. Like I can't see that this is pink and this is like more of translucent yellow. They look exactly the same to me, but they look really good. Okay, I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tip the rest of this pink one into the translucent one, mix them together because I can't see a difference, just to save the actual powder because I don't want to waste any. I'm just going to quickly set my face with the rest of this powder with a brush, and I'm going to turn the aircon on because it is very, very hot right now and I'm starting to sweat. So I'll quickly do that and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back and I've powdered my face. I've also done my brows and my blush off camera just because none of that is new, so I just wanted to focus on what's new in this video. So yeah, that is where we are now. My little kitten is asleep up there, so hopefully he stays asleep for the rest of the video. It doesn't decide to jump in my foundation tray or something like that, which he's done before, and he's a white cat and it's a massive effort to try and clean him off. So yeah, hopefully he stays there. I don't actually know where the older cat is right now. I think he's asleep under my bed. He likes to sleep in the warmth, which is where my room is, and it is warm in there today. So anyway, let's get into the next product. We have this eyeshadow palette, which is a bitch to open, so I need to get my tweezers. This is from Revolution, or Makeup Revolution. This is what it looks like, very pretty. I do have two other of these color stories. I've got a green tone one and a neutral one. This is a cool tone, like greyish tone one. It has some beautiful shimmers in it, which I'll swatch for you, but I'm not going to actually use the shimmers in this video today because I have some other shimmers I want to try out. So I'm just going to use the mattes, but let me quickly swatch these for you. Oh, they swatch very nicely. Very, very nicely. Oh, they are pretty. Okay, so those are the three swatches there. Very nice. We do have this bubbly petri dish looking shimmer there as well, which I'll swatch for you. It has like bluish grey and yellowy champagne. Oh, that's not swatching very nicely at all. I find these ones don't actually swatch very nicely. That's what it looks like. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't know why brands do that. That's it there. It didn't swatch nearly as good as these ones did. Like, it's just, it feels dry, and I just don't understand why they do that. It looks good, it sells the palette, but it doesn't actually work. Then the other two shades are cream shades. So we've got like a cream dark brown, chocolate cool tone brown, and then we've got a like pure white cream. I don't know if they're eye primers or if you're using them for cream shadows or to cut a crease with, but I don't tend to use them. They do have an extra bit of plastic over it to keep them from getting all the powders on them, but I just know I won't use those shades. So today we're just going to do a quick little neutral eye look with these shades here, and then I'm actually going to go in with these little Morphe glitter shades over the top of my mattes and see if they're actually any good. I bought two different shades, so we're going to test them out over these matte products and hopefully they work. So let me just clean off my finger swatches. Alright, that is all done. So I'm just going to go in with the darkest shade first, which is, actually they don't have shade names, they've just got numbers. So number 12, this one here, and we're just going to dip in my Morphe fluffy brush and put that on the outer edge. Like I said, I'm doing a very quick neutral eyeshadow matte tutorial with these shadows, and I'm going to use the shimmers in another video. Just quickly blend out this eyeshadow look. This matte shadow is blending out nicely, very pigmented. I can definitely see myself doing a lot of smoky eyes with this palette. It's a very neutral cool tone palette and very easy to blend out. I did think it was going to be easy to work with because the other two palettes that I have with different color stories blend out nicely, so I wasn't expecting that this palette would do anything different. Now my two little cats that I have are settling in nicely. So we've got the little kitten asleep behind me, then we've got the older cat who likes to walk around the house, likes to sleep upstairs where it's really, really warm, or under my bed. He was sleeping next to me last night on my bed with his head on my pillow as well, which was very nice. He does take up a lot of room. He's one of those very long cats when he stretches out, so he takes up a lot of room, and he's very, very needy. He rubs his face on my face because he wants pats, and is very forceful. If I move my hand, he'll follow my hand because he thinks he's going to get patted, and he is very, very tolerant of his little brother. Behind me is where I sit on the couch, and they like to sit next to me on the cat tree, so one sleeps here and one's at the top, and they switch spots. As soon as one gets from the top, the other one would steal its spot. So they're basically always fighting over that spot. I am going to get another tree, cat tree, with two little top bits so they can both sleep up there in my bedroom. Because they do like to sleep in my bedroom, but they don't always sleep next to me. They'll sleep under the bed. Oh, I'm really liking how this is blending out. Nice and pretty. Let me just quickly finish blending this out, and then we can go on with the other shade. Alright guys, I am back and I've blended out as much as I possibly can. It's looking a little messy on this eye, but I think it's just because I haven't done makeup for almost 6 weeks, so it's more my skills rather than the actual palette, because the palette and the shades are blending out nicely. So we're just going to continue. We're going to go into, I want to go into the shade number 10. Only thing is, it's more of like a creamy, almost light brown shade, and it's not similar to that. I want it to be this color, a bit lighter though. So I'm going to go into this shade anyway. And we're just going to put that in the inner corner and try and blend those two shades together. Like I said, I'm just doing a quick smoky eye, but I still want the makeup to look good. So we are going to do our best to get that to blend nicely. It's actually not too bad. It's kind of looking a little ashy where those two shades meet, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Most of this middle part is going to be covered with the Morphe glitter liquid shadows that hopefully are going to be mind-bogglingly stunning on the eye. So that will cover most of the blending anyway, but I do want to lay down a good foundation. So let me just pack this on. Like I said, it's a quick makeup tutorial. This palette would be perfect for traveling on the go. It does have a little bit of pop of color with some of the shimmers. Later in the night, you can just put some of those shimmers on top, or you can just use it as an everyday work palette, like a nice neutral smoky. Oh, that's pretty. I like the way that's blending out. That's nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. Nice. I don't know what's happening right now. I think that's where I blended the bronzer earlier. looking a bit orangey yellow there. I'm actually quite happy with that. What I think I might do now is just do the bottom lash line with those two shades to quickly save some time later on. So let me just blend out the bottom lash line. Alright, bottom lash line is done, and now let's go in with these Morphe little sticks. So these are the Mixed Signals Dual-Ended Cream and Liquid Shadow Sticks. So one end has like a shadow stick, so this is the black end. We've got the black eyeliner shadow stick, and then this one has just white. So this is white, and then the other one is black, and then the actual liquid parts are these little components. So I'm going to do a swatch on the back of my hand. It wasn't showing up on camera properly last time. I'm going to try and show you again on the back of my hand what they look like swatch wise, and hopefully it will pick up on camera. They are so pretty. They are eyeshadow toppers. The light are going to blind them down, but I'm hoping, see how pretty they are. I'm hoping the lights will adjust on camera so you can see what I'm doing. So one's like pinky purple and one's greeny gold. So pretty. I'm going to do one on each eye and see which is my favorite. I do struggle with these just because I do have hooded eyes, and once these tend to dry down, they tend to crack and flake all over my face. So hopefully it doesn't happen with these, but we're going to try it out anyway. So this one here, which is the pinky purple glitter shade, is Flirtatious. And then we've got the greeny gold one, which is the shade Onto It. So I'm going to go on with the greeny gold one first. Wow, they change colours. When I pick it up, it's greeny gold, but when I put it down, it's pink and purple. So they're changing colours. Like I said, they are dual, like, chromes, different colour shifts. We're just going to put it directly on the eye with the applicator. Probably not the most sanitary thing to do, but that's the way we're going to do it. Oh, that is so pretty. I don't know if the camera's going to show you, but that is so pretty. They are very, very cooling, so very like, kind of like lip pumping cool. Very cool on the eyelid. Not stinging, but it's cold, like ice. Now the only thing is the applicator itself is getting dirty from the actual matte shadows, which is not my favourite thing, but it is what it is. Just wanted to mention that. It's a bit to actually apply this, like I'm going in multiple times, which is a little bit annoying, but it's still looking very, very pretty. You won't get a full type pigment because it is like a topper, so you can see the base underneath. It's not a full like solid pigment like some of my other liquid shadows, but it is very pretty. Okay, that's kind of pretty. That's pretty. Let me zoom in as much as I can. See, there it is. It's pretty. I don't know if you can actually see the colour in it. Very pretty. I'm actually really liking that. Let me see what it looks like when it's completely dried down and see if it starts to flake all over my face while I do the other side. But in person, looks 10 times better than what it does on camera, but it's still pretty. Now we go on to the other side. Oh, this is a pretty one. Oh, that is giving me peacock vibes. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, you can definitely see the shift on that one. Oh, that is stunning. Oh. Okay, I thought this would be my favourite, but in person, this is giving me a lot more of a payoff. So I'm kind of liking this one because of the payoff vibes. But we still do have to give it a wear test. So for now, initial thoughts, stunning and amazing. The cooling sensation is something to get used to. This side, the sensation of cooling is gone. It's only when you initially apply it. I don't know if it's got like a glue to it, so it sticks onto the eyelid. Maybe that's what's making the cooling sensation. But, oh, that is so, so pretty. Just closing my eyes, because I'm hooded, you see the transfer, and then you can actually see where to fill in the shadow up to. So I'm just going to fill it in where that line is, so you can still see a little bit when I've relaxed my eyes. With these, you do have to blend everything first with the matte shadows, just because once this is on and you try to blend over it, it will knock off all the glitter particles. Even if you do use a glitter glue, it will be knocked off. So you just have to blend everything first and then apply this on after. I'm going to try and blend the edges here with the matte shadows, but I'm only going to pick up the shadow and press, like tap it on. I'm not going to swipe, because if I swipe, I know it's going to completely go everywhere and flake off my face. So we're just going to let it dry completely, and then we're going to tap off, and then we're going to tap some of that matte shadow on the edge, but hopefully not remove any of the actual liquid shadow. But wow, that is so pretty in person. That is stunning. I don't think the camera is doing it justice. I'm looking in the viewfinder, and I just don't think the viewfinder or the camera is showing off how pretty it really is. I'm going to try and show you the shifts with the mirror. I don't know if you can see it, but it is so pretty in person. So pretty. I might actually, oh, it is starting to lift on this edge here, so I was going to do another coat, but I think if I do that, it might pull off what's on there. So we're just going to leave it there. Now I thought while that is drying down, I'm going to zoom you out a little bit, and then we can continue with this makeup look with this highlighter I bought. This is the Max Factor X Face Infinity Highlighter Powder. It was $5 on sale at Priceline, and I thought let's try it out. It is a champagne baked highlight formula, very pretty. We're just going to apply a little bit on this brush, and then we're going to put some on my face and see what it looks like. Wow, that is blinding. Like now you can really see highlight on my face. Before it was just my natural cheekbones, but now, oh, that is really pretty. I do have to mention that it is kind of sitting on top of the skin rather than blending in, so it's kind of sitting on top of the makeup, which is not the worst thing in the world. But some people like more of a blended in highlighter finish, and it was $5. It was on sale, $5 from Priceline. Can't go wrong with that. So that's actually very nice, very pretty. I'm gonna go in with the matte shadow because my eyeshadow toppers are dry. Nothing's transferring when I tap on it. So I'm just gonna pick up that first shade 12, which is the darkest shade in this palette. Pick a little bit up on the brush here, and I'm gonna tap off the excess, and then I'm just gonna tap the edges very softly on those two shadows where they meet. Very softly. I'm not swiping, just tapping to try and blend them out. I'm not a huge fan of like the harsh line that there is sometimes left, so we're just gonna do what we can, just tapping in some of that product where those two edges meet. It's not really doing too much. I don't think that actually did too much, so I'm just going to leave it there. I don't want to knock any of that shimmer off. I actually really like how these are performing. Yes, I feel like they will flake off because they've kind of dried down, and some of these, I'm going to zoom it in, some of these areas kind of look like white. These areas here have gone white. I don't know if you can see it on camera, and that's just because they've dried down, and the next step is when that normally happens is they start to flake off over time, and I don't really want it to flake off, but I feel like they will. Every other liquid shadow that I've ever tried has flaked off in the past after they've dried down like this, so I feel like these are not going to be an everyday wear type of thing, but I still like the way they look, and I like the colours. Now, I bought these knowing that they probably wouldn't work on my eyes, but I still wanted to try them because I know I can keep these for more creative looks if I do like an alien kind of face painted look that I want to do now that I have oil-based face paints, so I can use these as like creative highlighter spots with the glitter formulas in these, so we'll keep them for that. Alright, now my older cat has jumped onto the table, so I want to finish off this video because he wants some attention. Let's talk about this eyeshadow palette. I really like this eyeshadow palette. I only did use 2 matte shadows, but they blend out really nicely. The 3 shimmers that I swatched, did swatch very nicely, except maybe this peach bubbly shade here that is not my favorite and has never worked for me in any of the palettes that had those types of shades. I will pass on that shade, but every other shade that I swatched or used, I actually really like the way it performed. And I did pick up that palette for $18. Next is this little highlighter X Factor moment, Max X Factor moment, sorry I should say. $5, I think it's normally $10. Oh my god, both my cats want attention right now. Normally $10. Very good. It is very pretty. It does give you that highlighter moment that you want. It sits on top of the skin rather than blending into it, but it's still very nice. And then we've got all these bronzer sticks. So this one, and then where's my NYX one? My NYX one here. They both worked quite nicely. This darker NYX one kind of blended out to nothing, and this Australis one isn't as creamy as my LYS one, so it does need a little bit more. Don't step in my foundation tray. So it does need a little bit more work to blend it out, but it still blends out quite nicely. Just excuse the neck. I went overboard on the neck. Hey, play nicely, but just something that I will use in the future. I'm just going to move that foundation tray there. And then lastly, I've got the two setting powders. Now, one is translucent, one is pink. I can't really tell the difference when they're both on my face. I will use both of these. I'm not going to use them just because one's pink and translucent. And I think these were $18, so they're quite affordable. And guys, that is everything in this video. I apologize about it being a long video. I'm going to have fun trying to edit this long video with me coughing throughout the whole thing, but I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, if you do, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to my channel. And if you've tried any of these products, or if you've got any questions on these products, please leave a comment down below, because I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have. But I also love to hear your thoughts on these products as well. With that, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. All my love. Bye.